Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Record warmth today, and we're staring at a storm threat for Thursday. We'll talk about how much of the area could be under the gun for severe weather tomorrow. Sandra?
All right, Ben, a state rep from Metro Detroit arrested after a crash on I-96. What we're learning about what happened, as the Livingston County prosecutor says, it's all under investigation.
We're going to begin, though, with breaking news from Orion Township, which is where a 4-month-old baby was found left in the woods. Glad you're with us today at 5. That baby was alive and was taken directly to the hospital to be examined. That
child was found right in the area of Joslyn and Walden Road. Victor Williams is live in that area for us tonight. Victor, what can you tell us?
Well, Devin and Sandra, we're not sure how long that baby had been in this wooded area, but it's believed that it was placed there by its mother after she had a mental breakdown. But thankfully, deputies got there right in the nick of time. Heartbreaking discovery in Orion Township this morning, where a 4-month-old baby boy was found laying face down in the woods of an area near Joslyn and Walden Road. Deputies knew to search the area because 2 people called 911 saying a woman was hiding in their bushes and ringing doorbells at several homes nearby. It said that she was distraught and believed someone may have been chasing her with a gun. When police finally spoke with the 37-year-old mother, they learned that she had an infant son. They also noticed dirt on her clothing, prompting the search. And with the help of a K-9 unit and 13 dispatched sheriff's patrol cars, the infant was found in 30 minutes. Unfortunately, the baby boy was found in the hypothermic state. Responding authorities had to remove the child's wet clothes, wrapping it in blankets before taking it to the St. Joseph Mercy Hospital. And really glad that first responders were able to prevent a tragedy here. That baby is going to be spending the night at the hospital to undergo more testing. Victor Williams, Local 4. Back to you.
And Victor, at this point, any idea, do investigators know what may have sparked mom's mental breakdown?
Well, they can't say for certain, but so far they are saying that it might be prescription drug abuse. So we're just trying to see for certain. But like we said before, just a horrible story all around. Thankfully, that baby's going to be okay.
Thankfully so. All right. Thank you, Victor.
Our other top story at 5, this steep and troubling increase in new cases of COVID-19 here in Michigan. 8,015 today. So that's 3,000 more new cases than we saw just yesterday. State also reporting 30 more deaths over that same period of time.
The head of the CDC pushing for stronger restrictions in Michigan to slow the recent surge of new COVID cases.
The CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, says the state should tighten rules around youth sports. So far, the state's mandating a weekly rapid antigen test for sports practices and games. Coming up at 6, you're going to hear from parents and the MHSAA on the ongoing debate over testing.
Michigan has the highest number of COVID cases in the nation and the highest case rate in the last 7 days.
We are also leading the country when it comes to adults in ICU beds for COVID-19. Let's bring in our medical reporter, Dr. Frank McGeorge here. Frank, these numbers are all heading in the wrong direction.
Absolutely, Devin and Sandra, and this reflects what I'm seeing in the ER as well. A good example of how much things have changed is the fact that after the first wave last spring, most of my colleagues only wore N95 masks when we were directly seeing patients. Now, many of us are back to wearing these all the time in the hospital. Today, the state's top epidemiologist broke down the latest data on COVID in Michigan, and it is highly concerning.
63 of 83 counties saw double-digit increases in positivity rates in the last week. The areas in dark purple seeing a rate of 20% or greater. More contagious variants have now been confirmed in most of the state, but remember, this represents just a small sampling of the actual number of cases. It's very clear from the data, COVID is spreading quickly in young people. Those aged 20 to 29 and 30 to 39 have the highest case rates. That's these top 2 blue lines. But case rates for children from babies to age 19 are higher than they've ever been, and more than quadruple what they were a month ago. K-12 schools top the list of outbreak locations, with high schools being particularly problematic. There is also concern about youth sports. Since January, basketball, hockey, and wrestling have had the highest number of cases and clusters, with 376 cases linked to basketball and 256 to hockey. This includes school-affiliated teams and club and travel teams. The graph that should concern everyone the most is this one. It shows the dramatic increase in hospitalizations. Hospitalizations are now doubling every 12 to 14 days. That means we are quickly approaching the peaks seen in December and last spring. If the current trend continues, we could exceed our previous highest levels of hospitalization by next Monday. When we reached those peaks before, the state mandated certain closures to slow the spread. That doesn't seem likely to happen this time.
Now, honestly, in my hospital, in many ways, this feels like spring of 2020 all over again. Patient volumes are increasing, there are more people coming in with severe COVID, and our ability to deliver care to non-COVID patients is being challenged. Honestly, without some turnaround, if the hospitalization forecasts prove to be accurate, we will be looking at a dire hospital situation within another few weeks.
Which we just thought we're past that awful stage, Frank. Now, the state is clearly trying to vaccinate our way out of this surge. So let's talk about the outlook there.
Well, you know, Devin, the only bright spot in the numbers as far as the vaccines go they are having an obvious impact protecting the older age groups.
Right.
But only about 23% of Michigan is completely vaccinated. So honestly, that leaves so many people still at risk for this virus to spread, and honestly spread quickly at this rate. Back to you.
Such urgency here. All right, Doc. Let's take a look at those vaccine numbers. New deliveries holding steady at 5.6 million after 600,000 doses were delivered earlier this week. 4.8 million, so just under 5 million doses have now been administered. People getting vaccinated at Ford Field, by the way, need to expect to return for that second dose exactly 3 weeks later.
And the mass vaccination clinic is currently giving the Pfizer vaccine. And some of you, in fact, have reached out to us here at Local 4, really unsure when your appointment for the second dose will be. So we did check with Meyer. Meyer is overseeing the registration, and Meyer says that the first few days that second appointment date wasn't written on the back of the vaccine cards. But there's really no need to worry here. Second doses are guaranteed, and they do start next Tuesday.
People can rest assured that their appointment date is 3 weeks later, basically 3 weeks to the day and the time. So if you were there on the Wednesday of the first week, then you come back, 3 weeks later on that same Wednesday at the same time, and that's your appointment.
Now, Myers says people will also be contacted via text or a phone call before their second dose date to remind them that their date is coming up. And as of yesterday, they have vaccinated 76,000 people. Meyer also says there is still plenty of time for you to sign up.
Let's turn our attention to the weather. Yesterday, temperature just short of 80 degrees. Feels like we were getting really close to it as you and I came to work today.
I know. Let's get over to Ben now. And Ben, I know the record is 83. Did we hit the record?
Missed it by that much. Sandra and Devin got to 81, so we fell short by just 2 degrees. And that record has not been around all that long, 1991, but we started warmer today than we did yesterday. 53 was that morning temperature. Come down just a little bit, but there's still some spots, especially out in the west zone, that are still in the low 80s. And then we're going to start turning our attention to tomorrow. We're under a marginal risk for severe weather. And if you remember, we've got to kind of get back on the bicycle here. That's the lowest category on the threat scale. It's really the possibility of straight line winds that we'll be watching. There will be some downpours too, so there could be some minor isolated flooding that comes with that, but that's, again, going to be in some very small areas. Otherwise, for the rest of tonight, should be nice. May see a very small chance at a shower or a thunderstorm as we get through tonight, but this is not going to be anything strong or severe through the evening. Most of us get through dry in an evening that's going to feel more like June than it does April. We'll talk more about that storm threat tomorrow and a lot of rain coming for the weekend in just a few minutes. Guys?
All right, Ben. Also here at 5, State Representative Jewel Jones under investigation for a traffic crash last night that happened along I-96 in Livingston County.
But as our Mara McDonald reports, beyond that, both state police and the county prosecutor staying pretty tight-lipped about what happened.
Devin, Sandra, where it stands right now, police, prosecutors say they are awaiting more information, essentially meaning more test results. Let me show you. State Representative Jewel Jones was found at the scene of a car crash on I-96 in Fowlerville last night. He was arrested and taken to the Livingston County Jail, where he stayed until this afternoon when he was released. He has not been charged with anything at this point, but it's clear prosecutors and police are awaiting further test results to determine next steps. They will also review dash cam to determine whether there was any sort of confrontation, physical or otherwise, between the state representative and the state police who responded to the car crash. Jones was charged with having open intoxicants in his car back in 2018 after he was pulled over for speeding in tinted windows, but he was not drunk. When pressed for more details, MSP says it has a long-standing policy of not making any further comment until an arraignment has happened. Devin, Sandra, back to you.
All right, Mara. Detroit police say a man opened his door and was shot on the city's west side.
This happened right around 10 this morning on Rosemont Street in the area of Clarita and 7 Mile. Police tell us that they spent hours there at the scene investigating after the man had been rushed to the hospital. Right now, no word on how he's doing tonight. Much more ahead here at 5:30. Here's Hank.
Michigan's Attorney General speaking out about Flint, the settlement money making its way to the Vehicle City, and the case against the former governor. Help me, Hank, tonight.
All right, Hank, also the Tiger Woods crash report is out. It isn't good. New here at 5, what police say was the direct cause of the crash and who was at fault.
But first, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy announces her charging decision in the police shooting death that sparked a violent protest here in Detroit. We're going to have that for you next.